Good morning and welcome to BBIS e-learning. Our subject for today is integrated science. Our strand is systems and our substrand is ecosystem. Our topic for discussion is how various organisms are adapted to survive in their habitat. But before we move on to talk about this topic, let's talk about ecosystem. Now, what is ecosystem? An ecosystem is made up of living things, that's plants and animals, interacting with their non-living environment. The non-living environment comprises of water, soil, air, rocks, sun, and atmosphere. Now, in terms of interaction of animals and their non-living environment, let's take these few examples. Animals drink water. Some animals live in the soil, some also live under rocks, and some also live in dead trees. And guess what? All animals need air. Now, in an ecosystem, all living things have needs such as food, water, air, and shelter. Now, if these needs are not met, they cannot survive. Now, this brings us back to how various organisms are adapted to survive in their habitat. Now, living things or organisms per se have their own way of lives that make them suited to survive in their habitat. Now, one may ask, what is a habitat? A habitat is a place or area an organism lives to survive in an ecosystem. Organisms like animals need places that can provide them with food, water, air, safety, and a comfortable place to reproduce. There are different kinds of habitats which have been placed under three major groups, namely terrestrial habitat, aquatic habitat, and arboreal habitat. Now, animals that fall under the terrestrial habitat are animals that live entirely on land. The aquatic habitat talks about animals that live in water, and arboreal habitats are those that live in trees. Now, let's look at some examples of habitats under these three major groups. Terrestrial habitats, we have grassland, deserts, and mountains. Aquatic habitats, we have oceans, rivers, ponds, and lakes. And arboreal habitats, we can talk about branches of tree, roots of trees, leaves of trees, and canopies of rainforests. Now, how will these organisms survive in their habitats? Is through adaptations. Adaptation is a feature or trait that helps an organism to survive in an ecosystem. All animals have various adaptations that helps them to survive in their habitats. These adaptations are just modified features that helps the organisms to survive in their habitats. Now, a few examples are: a duck has webbed feet that enables it to swim in water. The feathers on birds keeps them warm and protects them against heat loss. The gills of a fish enables it to breathe in water, etc. Now, a recap of our lesson today: how various organisms are adapted to survive in their habitat. A habitat is a place or an area an organism lives to survive. An animal or organism needs a habitat that can provide it with food, water, safety, air, and a comfortable place to reproduce. There are different kinds of habitats that have been placed under three major groups, namely terrestrial habitat, aquatic habitat, and arboreal habitat. Adaptation is a feature or trait that helps an organism to survive in their habitat. And some of the adaptations of animals that enable them to survive in their habitats are: 1. A duck has webbed feet that enables it to swim in water. The feathers on birds keeps them warm and protects them against heat loss. 3. The gills of a fish enables it to breathe in water. Now answer the following questions. Number 1. What is a habitat? Number 2. Write down the 3 major types of habitats, citing 2 examples each. Number 3. What is adaptation in ecosystem? Number 4. Mention any 3 adaptations of animals that enable them to survive in their habitats. Number 5. State 4 needs a habitat must provide to ensure an animal's survival. Thank you, and God bless you.